Hey guys, it's your girl Tori Live. I'm so super excited. So before I even start, guys, happy 2000, 2000, happy 2021. Yo, the years are still messing me up. My mind, my mouth, everything still wants to say 2020, but we are over that. We are in 2021. I'm very excited to be here right now and be here right now with you to talk. So, this is the very first Daily Nugget of 2021, and we're at our new home. So, this is the new home of the Daily Nugget with Tori Live. Basically, what that is and what you've seen in my videos prior to this one is that basically it's just me talking, giving inspiration, motivation, and all that good stuff to you from my heart. So basically, what this is started out as a beautiful accident, and now it is my inner conversation that I'm allowing you guys to be a part of outward. So today I was talking to my good friend, and we were talking about different things in our life that we're going to let go this year. And I'm going to go ahead and bring her on in a couple minutes. So I'm really excited to have this young lady on the Daily Nugget. I don't think, yeah, she's been on a couple of Daily Nuggets before, but this is our first official one. So I want to bring on no other person that I would want to co-host or co-orchestrate this with other than my girl Joy Strength. Here she comes.
Hey
Hey.
guys, welcome to Daily Nugget.
Hey.
We just have a theme song for you. Hey sis,
You said we need a theme song. We gonna work on that.
we're gonna work on that.
2021 is a year of nothing but possibilities. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no
I
problem.
I don't really even know what to do with myself. Like I really don't know what to do with myself.
Well,
But I'm
you know what we
excited to
do.
have you here.
You know what we do in here. We just real talk. We just do real talk story moments. And basically, so today, let's just go back in and like kind of bring everybody into our conversation that we were having earlier. So pretty much we were talking about letting people and things go that is holding us back. Everybody has that person in their life that um that person or those people who constantly encourage or rather discourage them from living up to their full potential. So
Mm-hmm.
said something that was totally striking because I promise I just had this conversation the other night with my boyfriend in regards to somebody who said something like what the person said to me was basically like I would get dressed, I would feel good, I'd be like, all that zhuzh up stuff. And he'd be like, oh, you feeling yourself. Mind you, this was my boyfriend at the time. This is my ex, one of my exes that we're talking about. And he'd be like, oh, you're feeling yourself. Oh, okay. As a way to diminish me and make me say, oh no, I'm not doing too much. Mm-mm. No.
Mm-mm. That's not. I,
That's
I
that's no.
I relate to your situation. Like I've dated somebody who told me I needed to turn my light down. And when I heard that, I said, "What do you mean turn my light down? Because I'm joy. I'm supposed to be who I am." Like, and he looked me in the eye and he said, "You shine too bright." And I said, "What? What does that even mean?"
Mm.
Oh, and you're conceited. You're this. You're always trying to dress up. What are you dressing up for? Why are you dressing up? All this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I dressing up? I'm dressing up because I have a job. I'm dressing up because I want to feel good. It makes me feel good when I look nice. When you look nice, you feel good. When your
Right.
hair done, you feel good. When your eyebrows and you looking like your best. At least and you feel like you look like your best with your
Mhm.
natural hair. Because I've always had a fro. Even when I cut my
Yeah.
hair off. I've always had this fro. And it's just like the last person I dated, he had hair. He had hair that was longer than mine. And he
Hmm.
was like, so once I cut my hair, it was almost like you need to why you cutting your hair? You need to cut your hair. I like it like that because my hair is longer than yours. And it gave him some kind of power. And I was like,
Oh
no.
my gosh.
I'm like, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna take back my power because it belongs to me.
Oh
I can
my
look however I want to
gosh.
look. I'm gonna have long hair if I want to have. My hair's gonna grow out. It's gonna be longer than
Absolutely.
yours. I'm gonna take care of my skin. I'm gonna look how I want to look. I'm gonna dress up if I want to dress up. If I want to dress down, I'm gonna dress down. But I'm not
Hmm.
gonna sit here and I'm not gonna match your fly because you want to look like a bum ass nigga.
Right.
And I don't
Absolutely.
even like calling people niggas. That's the sad part. I don't like calling people niggas because a lot of times our black men are kings. But he was acting
Mhm.
very niggerish.
Right. And the problem here is that people infiltrate our life and they pose as the people. Okay, it's gonna get real deep.
Because you
I,
already used the word infiltrate. So
I
I'm
tried to
ready to
go
hear
there. I
this.
tried not to go there, but I'm gonna go there.
Mm.
These people, these spirits jump on these people, infiltrate these people, and sometimes it be the closest people to you. Sometimes
Right.
it manifests itself as your boyfriend, as your girlfriend. For my fellas
Your
out there, 'cause this is
friend.
women talking right now, but this happens with men too. Women put
Hmm.
men down too. So
Women definitely put men down, and it's not spoken
it
about
probably
enough.
even more than men, if you really look
Absolutely,
at it.
because women try
Yeah.
to create these images of men that they're not, and they try to change men to be something that they're not instead of accepting them for who
Mm-hmm.
they are.
Yes.
Mm.
So these people, right? They try to infiltrate our life
Mm.
as boyfriends, girlfriends, family members, friends, and they get in there and make
Colleagues.
you trust them, right? And then
Yup.
once they gain your trust, these are supposed to be some of the most supportive and loving people in our life. But once they gain your trust, that's when the narcissist begins to come out and they begin
Mm.
to try to take control of your personality. And when you're a person who your light shines bright, I'm so glad that he used that terminology. When she's when she said this to me, I was like, oh no, we got to do a daily nugget just on that alone, because that's crazy. I've heard people say it, but never outright like that. Let's dissect the sentence. The man
Sis.
said to her, you need to turn your light down. You need to stop doing so much. You need to get quiet because your light is shining too bright. First of all, that's the devil talking, because the light inside of you, right? What you have inside of you, your personality, who you are, your drive, whatever you have inside of you, that's God given. So who are you to tell me to turn that down? Who are you to tell
Right.
me to not be who I am? Like
Absolutely.
these people, and it's so easy to believe them because, like I was saying before, they infiltrate your life as some
Mm-hmm.
of the closest people to you. Some of the people who you believe would tell you only good things and would love on you, and they're supposed to hold you up. But those be some of the main people that come in your life to pull you down, and it's really crazy. And this year, I really want us to focus on purging ourselves from that. We got to purge that kind of energy up out of our soul, up out of our system. If we have people like that who are constantly in our life, and it's hard, like it's hard when these people infiltrate your life as boyfriends, girlfriends, family members. It's very hard to get rid of them, especially family. Because, like, how far are you going to go from your family? Like,
But the worst part is when you learn how to love somebody and you love somebody to that deepest core, and then they switch into that narcissism because you know it always
yeah.
hits you
Oh, it
out
never
of
starts
nowhere.
off with that. Yeah.
And then you create these trauma bonds.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, you're not really attached to them and you're not really in love with them, but you're in love in that piece of the trauma that they have.
Yeah.
How am I about to explain this? I got
You
this.
can
Hold on.
relate. You can relate
Yeah,
to the trauma. Y'all
you
have
relate
to.
to the trauma that you guys shared because you guys had a similar experience. You guys went through similar things. Y'all walked through a similar path of life. Y'all grew up together. Y'all may have been raped or molested. Maybe not together, but you guys
Yeah.
relate in that way. Or
Yeah.
you just relate just by being an oddball out because me, like, you know, I feel like in my family, I'm the oddball out. Like, you know, a
Mhm,
lot of times people compare me to my siblings and I hate that because you know they're
mhm,
always like you're the one that made it, but I always have to explain to
mhm.
them. I said I'm my own individual. At the end of the day, I had a different life experience than my siblings had. My siblings
Yeah,
didn't grow up with me the way that they my other two siblings grew up together. Like my
right,
siblings all grew up together. I was separated from the batch, so I'm
mhm,
not gonna have the same experiences. So that happens it ties into your relationships, because you know you only know what you know from your childhood, from the people that raised you, from the people that groomed you to be the person that you are today. So a lot of times that trickles down into your relationship, and it creates these trauma bonds and these narcissistic acts and ways
Mhm.
and things like that. And
Yeah.
then, you know, we start using this excuses. Oh, that's just the way I am. I can't
Woo.
change.
Yeah.
I don't know how to change, which isn't true, because that's not
Hmm.
the way you are. You do know how to change. You are able to change. You just have this one track minded, this one side minded, this one
Right.
side mind that you refuse to change because you don't want to change, because it hurts to change. Because
Right.
change isn't easy. Change is difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult to grow. It's difficult to develop. Mm.
That's true. Wow. That's so true. Like, I feel like we have to recognize these patterns in people, and even a
From
deep
the beginning,
on a
and,
deeper
and
level.
stop throwing them red flags out. I'm sorry.
That's true. That's a big one though. Stop throwing.
Because I remember with dating the last person that I dated, I threw
Mhm.
all the red flags out. My friends was like, sis, that's a red flag. I said, nah, y'all. It
Yeah.
is what it is. Maybe he's just hiding something. He's private. He's gonna let it go. He's gonna open
Hmm.
up. Then a
Yeah.
couple months passed, and I'm just like,
We always make excuses. Yeah.
and it's the same stuff, same patterns. And what happens is we need to catch the patterns when it starts. The second time it happens, it should be over with. We shouldn't keep going back to the same thing, because once they have that pattern, they're not gonna change. They're not gonna want to change because they think that you accepted it the first time. You're gonna accept it again and again
Yeah.
and again and again and keep letting them in, and that gives them more power over you. And
Yes,
you
that's
don't even
true.
realize it.
Yeah. We teach people how to treat us by how we treat ourselves and what we allow people to do.
And
Absolutely.
then when we find better, we push them away,
Hmm.
because we start creating this wall like, oh, this is a good person, but now I got all these bricks and layers that they got to push down just to
Yeah.
understand who I am, and just to get to this one piece right here, which is the heart. I think I
Hmm.
pointed to the wrong spot.
We know what you mean.
Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know where the heart is,
We
like,
keep
at
it
the end of the
real
day.
lighthearted over here on this
It's right
channel.
here, okay? It's right here.
Yeah, absolutely. We keep it real lighthearted. We talking about real stuff. For those of you who have just tuned in, I'm talking with my good friend Joy Strength about the topic below, and the topic below is removing things that diminish.
Thank
So,
you for saying that, because I have a live going too. So I
yeah.
was gonna ask you to say the title so
Mm-hmm.
they understand. And I tagged you in the because even though they can't see you, they can hear you and
Yeah.
get the feed. So I want them to understand and, like, you know, comprehend what you're saying too,
Oh,
because you're
so
saying some
you're
important
going
stuff.
live from where you're at.
Yeah, I'm live on
Okay.
Facebook, so they can hear you.
Awesome.
And I tagged
Awesome.
you in it if they want to follow you from your voice. She's a
Ah,
beautiful
oh my
soul.
gosh. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Make sure they follow me on Facebook. That's Tori A. Manning. Like my artist page, Tori Live. And
So we are.
also make sure you guys subscribe right here to Tori Live Present so you can and hit the bell so you
So give me
get
all of
all the
that stuff again,
notifications.
and I'll put it at the bottom when this live is done.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. But just bringing everybody up to speed, anybody who's just logged on, we are
Enjoying
talking
it.
about trauma bonds and breaking them. That's what this whole episode is really about. We got to break these trauma bonds. And it starts with people who diminish you,
Absolutely.
people that are going to come into your life, just like we discussed a few minutes ago, people that infiltrate your life as close people, family, friends, boyfriend, all that. They come in your life, they infiltrate your life as close people. And once they know that they're deep enough in your skin, that's when they start going crazy and give you very narcissistic vibes and stuff. And right now, we're here to kind of like talk about our like a little pieces of our stories to try to get you guys to understand and also to encourage you that we need to move away from all of that in this year. This is something
Since you know
new.
the scariest part, it's
Yeah,
always the people that's really close to you that you, like, you know,
yeah,
you label. Like,
hell
I
yeah.
had somebody very close to me tell me that they created who I was. Like, you know, we don't have no blood connection. Like, you know, I kind of just met them, you
Yeah.
know, like that. And, like, you know, we just ended up linking, and they, you know, they took that
Hmm.
ownership for who I was. Oh, I made you who you was. I
That happens
created
a lot as
this
artists,
version of you. I made you do X, Y, and Z.
right?
And I'm like, that's not true, because I'm a human. I make my own decisions. I make my own choices at the end of the
Mhm.
day. You know, I don't sit here. Nobody can ever make me. Let me rephrase that. Nobody can ever make me. I have my own choices. I make my
Mhm.
own decisions. I do what I feel is best for me, what's best for my image, what's best for my community. Because at the end of the day, my purpose is serving my community. A lot of the work that I do that a lot of people don't realize is I serve my community. So when I do things, I'm doing things from the kindness of my heart. I'm not doing things for show. I'm not posting photos for people to say, "Oh, you're doing a good
Yeah.
job. You're doing this. You're doing that." It's not about that. It's
Right.
not about that. It's about the community. It's about the people who actually need help. Because I remember one time I was that person in the community that needs help. And sometimes I'm still am that one person in the community that needs help, that
Hmm.
needs a therapist, that needs somebody to speak to, that needs food.
Yeah.
Shit. Sometimes the lights need to be paid. Like,
True.
like everybody needs a hand. So I want to be
Hmm.
that person too. And you can't take ownership for that. And you can't talk on my trauma and say that my trauma made you create me.
Right. Let me slow you down a little bit real quick because
Yes,
the
slow
thing
me down.
people need to understand like who you are and what you do in the community. People may not fully understand that. So Joy is not just my good friend. She's not just my good homegirl. She's also a deep community advocate in the city of Newark. She is the plug. She's amazing and she's very humble. So she's not going to tell you all this stuff herself. But she's a she's a
30-second elevator pitch.
She's a community activist. She's a photographer. She is a wonderful friend, obviously. She currently works with NCST as
A victim advocate. Don't
a
forget to
victim
include that
advocate.
I am the youngest victim advocate in the city of North New Jersey.
That's wonderful.
That is
Like, how
certified.
many, yo, our youth need to strive for that. Our youth really need to strive for being the youngest blank. Whatever that blank is, fill in that blank with a positive adjective, and you be the youngest blank in your city, And this is a perfect example wait, which way am I pointing? And this is a perfect example of
I forgot so the cameras that I'm on, they're facing two different directions. So if I move one way, I go out of this camera, and
you
if I
just
move the other way, I'm out the
moving
other
out of
one.
frame.
So
But in addition to that, before that, where I met Joy, we met working with the Hub, and the Hub is an organization in Newark that does amazing things for the community, the children, and the families of the disenfranchised, and also just community people. Like you don't
mhm.
listen, just community. They do everything from summer camp, after school programs. There is she's a
They do podcasting,
there.
they do
Yeah, she's here
videography.
for the podcast there, for the radio station, for the studio. She's
They do
every
a plethora of things. They're very artsy.
well, there's them, but then there's you.
And then yeah, there's me.
She came in as like a media director and doing graphic designs, all the flyers, everything
Want to
that
hear a funny thing about that
Joy's
story?
work. Huh?
You want to hear the funny thing about that story?
Tell
It
me.
was never my intentions to work at the hub. It was never it. That was
It
just
never is.
God and
It
how He
never
let it
is.
came in. But it was never my intentions to get this deep into the community work that I'm in.
Yeah.
I came in and was like, oh, I'm gonna go to MTOL.
Mhm.
MTOL stands for My Thoughts Out Loud. It's a youth forum. You can catch it on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. on, I think it's the Hub Arts and Trauma Center page. I'll tag them too. But I came into a youth forum and I was sitting down listening to their stories. Everybody, the youth are talking about how they feel. If I'm not mistaken, the first topic that I went to was domestic violence, I believe. And Tori and Steven was hosting and things like that. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Then the next week was sexual assault and sexual harassment, and it kind of hit home for me because a lot of people don't know I was sexually assaulted as a youth,
Mhm.
so that kind of molded me and built my story a little bit too. And I shared my story. I ended up getting involved with the hub because I was a graphic designer, and I said this to Alsric himself, so he's gonna, even though he'll get me for saying this, I was like, yo, your graphics suck, man. Let me help you out. So I started doing graphics. And then some way, somehow I ended up becoming community outreach director, knocking on doors with Jimmy. Jimmy
Shout out to
started taking
Jimmy
me to
White.
these kids' houses and having me work with the after school program. And I'm sitting here like, oh, okay. Next thing you know, I'm sitting down on the computer getting certified to be a victim advocate. And I'm sitting here like, whoa, this is the word. this many people is
Yeah,
in need in Newark.
that's the work.
I started talking to Tori more like, yo, Tori, this is crazy. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. We
And
gotta make this program and that program.
when
We
I
gotta
tell
make sure the
you,
kids is fed. Because my
when
main
I
focus
tell
was
you,
the
she's
children.
amazing. She's amazing. I've witnessed her in action with the after school program, with the summer camp kids. And it's not just a job for her, it's a passion. And, like, even with all of the stuff, my favorite role to see you in is when we're working on the Thanksgiving
Oh
breaking bread.
man.
I think that is so dope. She goes through so much like stress trying to put everything together with them. But the final product, when we see people sitting at the tables, enjoying their self, eating the food,
Oh,
fellowshipping
it's definitely
together,
worth it.
it's very unfortunate that 2020 was like the first year in 13 years that there was no breaking bread ceremony due to COVID. But you have every intention on getting back off the ground this year, hopefully, if
Absolutely.
COVID will chill out. We don't got time for that.
We don't
But
got time for mask up.
yeah,
Wear your
that's it.
damn mask. It goes over your nose, covers your mouth, just like this. Wear your
Look
mask.
at her. And she
6
gave
feet
y'all an
away.
example.
Social distance. Sorry. Had to give a COVID example because they don't understand how important it is. They don't want to stay 6 feet. They don't want to wear masks. They want to go to. They want to party. They want to gather in crowds. They don't want to space out. Like
Hmm.
everybody want to share blunts. Everybody want to share drinks.
Oh my
No,
God.
nobody want to use Lysol. Nobody want to clean. Like it's ridiculous out here.
We got to make sure we take care of each other so that we're able to take care of our community. There's a lot of community advocates and a lot of community workers out there in Newark, New Jersey, out there in Cali, out there where I'm out here where I'm at in Atlanta, out here all over the world. There's community activists who are working on the community. So in order for us to be successful in making sure that we're able to do our job to help the community, we have to
Mm-hmm.
be safe ourselves. So all my community advocates, please take that as your word of encouragement to please be safe so that we can get back to programming as usual, because we definitely want to see more after school programs. We
Mm-hmm.
need to see more summer camp programs. We need to see more breaking bread ceremonies, because these are the things that help to build community, and people look forward to it. People need it, especially our kids. They truly and honestly need that so that
But
they
better
can
yet, I want to
build
finish doing
social
the
skills.
in-person healing.
And yeah, the in-person healing is like that's so needed in our
Like
community.
I miss meeting with my adult mentees, with my older group. Like Zoom is nice, but it's not the
Not the
same. You
same.
don't get the
Yeah,
same energy, the same feeling. It's not. It's nothing. It's even like it's even going to church sometimes. You don't get to really go to church no more.
yeah,
It's so many. It's only but so many people can be there. Same with the mass jigs. It's just like it's a lot of spacing. So I
yeah.
want everybody to stay safe so we can get back to
So
the
we can get
usual.
back to normal. Well, anyway, let's redirect ourselves back to
Back to
where we
trauma
started,
bond.
because we don't want to keep the people for too long. I don't want to stay on for too long. The daily nugget is meant to be a nugget. So this is a big word of encouragement from us to you, for you guys to remove anything that diminishes you. If you're in a situation, if you're in a relationship that diminishes your power, diminishes your light, like Joy said, you have to either talk about it to that person, because sometimes they don't even realize what they're doing to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not gonna give them the excuse of saying,
That's
"Oh, they
toxic
know
too,
what
though.
they're doing," but sometimes people don't realize the damage that they're doing. So sometimes we have to say something in order to see a result. Now, if once I say something to you, there's no result, you don't care. Okay, new year, new me. Who
Right?
you?
Because
You gotta go.
we can't say that
So
we
you
care
gotta
if we
let them
keep
go.
repeating the same actions.
You gotta let them go. If
You
they
gotta
keep
let them
repeating the
go.
same actions, then it's time for that relationship to dissipate, because it's only gonna break you down more and more and more once you've
And you don't want to
expressed
find
yourself.
yourself finding yourself every 3 months, every year. You don't want to keep doing that. And you don't want to keep having to rebuild your self esteem and going places because your self esteem is very important to who you are.
Right.
So you don't want to keep breaking something down and have to build it back up, because that's only going to stress you out.
Your love story with yourself has to be the greatest love story. I don't care if you find the
Okay,
person that you're I don't care if you find the person that you're supposed to marry today and y'all get married today. That love story will be beautiful. Y'all will have children, y'all life will be wonderful. However, the greatest love story outside the love of God has to be your love with yourself, because
absolutely.
you will ultimately be the only one that you have. Your children, they will grow up, they'll move on with their life. Your family,
Hmm.
they'll move on, do their thing in different places with their life. Your spouse, we pray to always live with our spouse, but sometimes relationships break up. Sometimes people pass away. Sometimes, you may be by yourself for a while. Like if your spouse like has to travel away for work or something, like ultimately when you get in the shower, when you go to take a poop, when you are doing your most individual things, you're by yourself.
But
So
my thing is,
you have
you
to be
can't love
comfortable.
somebody if you don't love yourself.
That's number one.
You can't love
But we
somebody
don't we
else if
don't
you
learn
love
to love
yourself.
ourselves for other people though. I hear that a lot. And it's like I do believe it. I understand what's being said there. You can't love someone else until you love yourself. So because we're single and we don't want to be single forever, we just try to hurry up and get all the love for ourselves we can. No, your love for yourself is not contingent on any other person. It's not about somebody else.
It's
Because
about you.
when you find yourself and you start to love yourself, you're no longer really looking for anybody. You're just comfortable with yourself. That's when the right people find themselves into your life. But again, you have to like your love for yourself has to be your biggest love story, your greatest
Absolutely.
love story. Without that, you're no good for nobody. So um a big part of that is removing things that take you away from yourself, removing things that diminish you, taking yourself out of situations that are bringing you harm, emotional, mental, physical, all of
Mm.
that. We need to
Very true.
that spiritual, yes, we need to move that out of our way so that we can love ourselves, so that we can become our best self. And anybody that's outright telling you that you need to dim your light and you need to chill and you don't need to feel yourself, no, baby, you feel
They don't
yourself.
belong. They
Feel
don't belong.
yourself. It's okay to feel yourself. It's okay to feel good about yourself.
It's okay to be beautiful. It's okay to feel beautiful. It's okay to act beautiful. It's okay to tell somebody else they're beautiful and compliment them. It's okay to have your moment where you're just feeling yourself and you feel great and fantastic, because you are amazing. You
Yep.
are beautiful. You are
Mhm.
powerful. You are that agent. You know,
That's right.
we do look for you for that light, whether you like it or not. Somebody's watching. Somebody's
Somebody is
always watching, whether they're little or small. I mean, or bigger. Somebody's always looking at you. They're
watching.
looking at you for your next move to make. They're looking at you to see how you gonna move so they could copy it. We always do. You see all these kids out here? They watching you
Hmm.
like hawks. Oh, I did it because Joy did it. I did it because Tori did it.
Yeah,
I'm vlogging because Tori blogs because she motivates me. I got my hair like this because Tori made it look cool. Like, there's always somebody watching you. It's always gonna be somebody looking down at you, watching, saying, "Oh, I want to be like you." So the way you carry yourself is important too. So if
that's
you letting somebody dim your light, you need to cut them out. You need to move on over.
ah, all my church people caught that Jonathan McReynolds reference right there. If
But
you try to listen to Make Room
anybody who
tonight,
goes to church
make
caught
room
that
for
one.
Jonathan McReynolds. But you guys, I want y'all to remember that somebody needs your light. Somebody's looking for your light. So don't dim it. And
Don't do
anybody
it.
who's telling you to dim it, you gotta move them out the way.
Gotta cut it.
Relationships can go. Family, that's a little more tricky. But what I
No,
will
because
say,
you could cut your family off too.
you damn sure
I
can.
don't want to hear that. If
You
you got
damn
them
sure
toxic
can.
family members, just because you blood, don't mean your family. I had to learn that the hard way. Just
That's
because
true.
you are blood, you are not family. Family is what you create. Family means forget about me. I love you.
That's true.
It's unconditional.
That's true.
It's putting yourself sometimes before. others. It's also putting others before you. You make your own family. I made my own family. Yeah, I have an actual biological family. Yeah, a lot of them are a bunch of assholes, and that's the easiest way to say it. Yes, a lot of people don't belong, but I'm gonna be able to say who I'm gonna associate with, who I'm gonna hold close to me.
That's true.
Because sometimes water could be thicker than blood, fuller than blood, you know. And I had to learn that the hard way, and it took for me to keep giving my heart, them in my light, for somebody else, to make somebody else feel better. Oh, how do you making myself feel? How do you feel about that? It doesn't matter. It is what it is. What am I doing? Dimming my light. You know why? Because I'm suppressing how I feel
Yeah.
instead
That's
of saying how I really feel. That's dimming the light.
yeah.
That's dimming the light. But a wise man told me, if you're the smartest one in the room,
Get
get
out
up and leave.
there. Very true. Absolutely. Joy, I want to thank you so much for jumping on this daily nugget with me. It's been really wonderful having you, and you brought
Man.
a lot of personality and perspective to this. If you guys are not already following Joy, I really do think that you need to go ahead and do that because she's an amazing young person in the city of Newark, and I feel like her reach is going to go even farther than that. So you guys make sure you stay in connection with her. You can tell them where they can follow you.
You guys can find me on Facebook at Joy Strength. That's really only my only media stream that I'm willing to give away. So because I feel
Okay.
like my Instagram's a little more intimate for me. So, but
And
I'm
that's
gonna plug you
okay.
in. I'm gonna
You
plug
gotta
you in
save
one more
something for
time.
yourself. So hey, I feel you. So you can find her on Joy Strength. That's her Facebook profile. Friend her. She friend you back. She's friendly. Yeah.
And I'll associate with you.
Yes. And
But
I will drop that in the comments below so you guys can go ahead and make sure that you follow her and you get with her. She's an amazing resource person, just all around dope person to talk to. If you need any help or any guidance in the area of trauma, mental health, all of that, she's an amazing resource person to put you in line with the right people that you need to get with in order to get help for yourself or anyone else. Definitely get with her and stick with her. She's wonderful. Joy, thank you again for jumping on this live stream. I really do appreciate your time. And this has just been a really good beginning to a great year. I feel like
absolutely.
what 2021 has for me, it's not what it has for me, it's what I have for it. So
Mm.
I'm excited about this year. I'm excited to be bringing the Daily Nugget over to YouTube. This has always been something that I've wanted to do for a while. So here we are. This is our new home, you guys. If you're
Hey,
not
Shalonda.
subscribed, then make sure you hit the subscribe and make sure you hit the bell so that you can get all the notifications for when I'm live with the Daily Nugget. You never know when I'm gonna have a guest. You never know
Okay.
what new gems I'm dropping. So hit that bell and don't miss nothing.
Not a thing.
So we done talked about, letting people dim our light. I feel like that falls right into line with my tagline. Mm.
Mm.
So I'm gonna
So,
close out. So I'm gonna say, make sure you guys stay sanitized, stay safe. Make sure you guys
wear
follow,
your mask.
like, love, subscribe, share. Please share because we want this message to get to as many people as possible. Have a wonderful year. Happy New Year one more time. And above all else, be your own light, baby.
What it
Peace.
do, baby? Peace.